Okay, everybody, I'm just as surprised as you are. There's some breaking news that, or at least I hope so, because Graham just fired the breaking news sounder. Before I let my imagination run too crazy, what is the breaking news, Graham?
Breaking news. Update on UNC quarterback Max Johnson. Max Johnson underwent successful surgery in Minneapolis, I'm assuming last night, to repair a broken right leg on Friday. So either this morning or this afternoon. Johnson, who is accompanied by his parents in Minnesota, will return to Chapel Hill in a few days and is expected to make a full recovery. He will miss the remainder of the 2024 season for the Tar Heels.
My official response is deep sigh of bummer. Now, Max Johnson, I don't even know how the eligibility of it works. This is his sixth year of college football.
I believe so.
Let me see at least what he's. Yes. Oh no. Sorry, fifth year. I don't know if he redshirted prior to his first year playing at LSU, but he's been on the field for 5. So I don't know if he's going to get another year of eligibility. If this is how his college career ends, I absolutely feel for the young man. Even if this is not how his college career ends, I absolutely feel for the young man. Surgery that close after a game, listen, I know that there are bigger, more important things in life than college athletics. I also know how important college athletics are to the athletes when they are in it. Right? There's the you can go Jim Valvano and say, your family, your religion, and Green Bay Packers football. And maybe that's the order that it should be. But there are times when you're in college, there are times when you're coming up, when you're spending more time on football than just about anything else. And to have somebody work as hard as I am sure Max Johnson did to earn the starting job at a very, very good program, and to go out there and not get the opportunity to see it through, it's brutal. And injury on top of that, surgery on top of that, rehab on top of that, it's brutal. So he is done for the year. He will finish his season 12 of 19 for 71 yards passing. He did have the interception, but he also ran for a touchdown, 6 attempts, 10 yards, and 1 touchdown. Connor Harrell, it's your job. We have to do that too. We're gonna do it with Jesper Fost for the Canes. It's the gross part about sports, but also part of why sports are what they are. Somebody gets hurt, it's next man up. What can you do to fix it? What can you do to get better? What can you do to fill that role? And Connor Harrell, it's now your team.
So my question is this. Yes, you're exactly right. It is Connor Harrell's team now, but how much are you applying more reps to Jacoby Criswell in practice? I feel like there could be a time in this season where you could see Jacoby Criswell out there as well for the Tar Heels.
That's a luxury. You have to, and it goes back to you have to get one guy ready to play. Connor Harrell, he's made one career start, right? Last year in the, I think that's right. Last year in the bowl game. Played a little bit in
against Campbell
late
in the season.
Had a 61-yard touchdown run in that one. And I think there was a game where Drake May maybe had like a injury scare and Connor Harrell went in for a few plays. But other than that, the guy hasn't played much. So it's all hands on deck getting him ready for next week's game. In a perfect world, and I'm sure back in like the Junction Boys days, right? If you go back into like the 50s and 60s where the NCAA didn't regulate how much practice you'd have like 4-hour practices. So you could have 2.5 hours of Connor Harrell learning, and then you'd throw Jacoby Criswell in there for an hour and a half, and you just give him all the reps you need. But the NCAA monitors how often you're on the field, and with a limited amount of time, Connor Harrell needs all hands on deck. He needs everybody helping him. He needs Omarion Hampton explaining to him. He needs the new offensive lineman, the Georgia center, the transfer from Georgia. He needs everybody working with him. Those tight ends. It's go time now for Connor Harrell. You're 1-0 with a win over a Big Ten team, right? Catch lightning in a bottle. Go win some more games, and the sky is the limit. But But with Max Johnson out, I mean, he's obviously – there's a reason why Mack Brown started him and played him into the second half, even as he struggled. They must have been pretty confident in Max Johnson. Now it's Connor Harrell's team. Next guy up. Again, if you're just tuning in, the breaking news, Max Johnson, transfer incoming quarterback from Texas A&M for the North Carolina Tar Heels. If you watched their game last night, he was hurt, helped off the field, carted off. He suffered a broken right leg, successful surgery today, but with the surgery, will miss the remainder of the season.
Can I just add one thing?
Add as much as you want. Add two
to this conversation. I'll add two things. Even though Max Johnson struggled at times last night, and I even feel bad, bringing up the negatives or the downsides of his performance last night now that we know this news. But just to kind of add some positive light in, I thought that there were some bright spots as far as if he had just continued to play out this season and got more reps, because he had the great run on where he extended the play on the run where it was 3rd and 9, and then just the toughness he showed to keep the ball and score first with the Tar Heels when it was 1st and goal inside the 10. So there were some bright spots. He did have some good throws, but
I mean, he started a full season at LSU.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about natural ability. Like he can play the quarterback position. It's just a shame that he and we and that team aren't going to get to see.
We'll never know the potential.
What could have been. So, the injury kind of robs you of that. But you become numb to it as a player. And we talked about it earlier. Like, I can't watch Max Johnson's injury. His knee bends a funny way. I guess there may have been a hip injury involved. Again, we don't know. All I know is it's a leg injury, leg surgery. I can't even watch it anymore. I think it might be because my playing career is going further into the background. You become like grossly numb to injuries outside of like the super duper serious injuries as a player. We used to we'd be in practice, say we're going left to right on a field, right? The way we're looking at it for your mind's eyes photo. We're going left to right. And say a defensive back, steps wrong 20 yards downfield and is laying on the ground, grabbing his knee, screaming. Right, you know what that is, right? Non-contact guy goes down. It's probably an ACL. Maybe there's some other CLs in there, the PCL, LCL, MCL. Maybe it's a meniscus. Either way, it's not good, right? You know what it is. Guess what your coaches say? This is practice. They don't say, everybody take a knee. They don't say, hey, if that's your boy, if that's your buddy, if that's one of your best friends, go sit next to him and help him get through this. They don't say any of that. They yell Riverside. You know what that means? Turn around, we're going to keep this drill going, but now we're going to go in the other direction because he's laying down on the field and we can't go in that direction anymore. So Riverside just means turn around, we're running it in the other direction. That's what you do in practice when someone gets hurt. So football inherently is a next man up job, right? You get hurt in practice, it won't be 25 seconds until your backup is putting his helmet on. Because they're going to have to go in for the drill going in the opposite direction. So Max Johnson, I feel for you. And the further away I get from my playing career, the less numb I am to it, the more I'm gonna feel this pit in my stomach when guys get hurt. But for UNC, the conveyor belt is started and it's not slowing down. The next game is ready to smack you in the face.